Hey, people, welcome back to the Becoming series, exploring the deep truths and the principles that will enable you become everything you were created to be and do. Let's talk about inseparable. Inseparable. Um, what is inseparable? What does it mean to be inseparable? It means that you are so attached, so attuned, so co-joined with something that it is practically impossible to separate you to, right? We're inseparable friends. You're inseparable with your children. You're inseparable with your spouse, right? It's just that unfortunately, human relationships do tend to be separable, due to a number of factors, right? Which I won't go into here. But there's one thing that should not be inseparable. And I'm choosing my words very carefully. I didn't say cannot be. I said should not be. And that is your relationship with God, right? I've said several times that I'm not a preacher, right? But we cannot really talk about becoming and be true to ourselves without necessarily including God in the discussion, because becoming is really manifesting who you were created to be, and it was God who created you. So it is impossible for me to have this discussion without including or referencing God in some way or the other, right? And that really leads me to the point of this particular episode. I said that essentially, and I said it a number of times, essentially that you are a spirit. You are not a body. You are not this that's looked at in the mirror, right? You're not the person that people ordinarily see, when they're looking at you face to face. You are a spirit, right? And it is your spirit that is eternal. I said earlier in another episode that spirits don't die, right? When we leave this earth, we're just taking off our earth suit. Now, the reason that we cannot continue to abide on the earth is because spirits were not given the latitude or the lease to be on earth, right? A spirit cannot reign on earth. A spirit cannot live on earth. It has to inhabit a body, right? So when you're talking about things like demon possession, etc., it is because the spirits, whatever spirits those are, have inhabited a human body, and that is why they're able to do the things that they're doing, right? Likewise, if you have the spirit of God, the spirit of God can only operate in you because you have the body. So it's actually human beings that were given authority to have the foothold on the earth. The reign, dominion over the earth was given to human beings. So it is whoever controls human beings that actually gets stuff done, right? Now, why I said inseparable is because your spirit didn't just come out of the ether, right? It it flowed out from a source, and that source is God. Your spirit was taken out of God's spirit. God is your source, right? Everything that you are, that you were, that you're ever going to be, ultimately connects to Him as your source, right? Now, one concept that people that people are familiar with, I'm sure, even if you don't understand it or if you don't believe it, there is going to be a physical hell, right? And that will come at the right time. We're not going to dwell into that right now, but there's also a mental hell. You can actually go through hell, right, here on earth, and means that when you're in a state, for instance, of lack, of privation, mental instability, you can experience a form of hell. And what is hell? Hell is actually a separation from God. That was not supposed to be your state. You were supposed to be eternally connected to Him. You were supposed to be inseparable. That was the plan from the get-go. Everything that God wanted to accomplish on earth, He wanted to do through you. Therefore, His spirit needed to communicate with your spirit, and your spirit was supposed to communicate things through your soul to your body. So it is your physical body that actually gets stuff done, right? But the minute there was a separation, right, when sin entered the world, the connection between God's spirit and man's spirit was lost, and it can only be reestablished when you accept Jesus, right? So if you're really going to get things done, if you're really going to be the person you are created to be, you you have to be reconnected to the source, and you have to remain inseparable. That's really the message for today, right? I didn't really think about it in this way. But I just had that title, in my head, in my spirit, and I knew it was something that needed to be said. You need to be inseparable with your source, because that is the only way you're not you're going to get things done, and you're going to become everything you're supposed to be. Get reconnected to your source and become inseparable with him. That's it.